Hello everybody, it's Pineapple here, back with another video, and we're back. I know I've been away for a while, but we should be getting back to a sort of regular upload schedule. I'll post a channel update later on the channel community page, just detailing, what was up with me while I was away for a little while. But we're back, and it's Banlist season, and the Banlist just came out today. It's effective from January 1st, so the new year. And it's an absolute banger. I think Konami really cooked with this one. It looks fantastic. I don't see any real outstanding issues, maybe one or two that could have been addressed. But overall, it's a lot more than we usually expect from Konami. And overall, it's a fantastic ban list. I think they did an unbelievable job with this. There's not too much to complain about. Obviously, it could be better. Things can always be better. Don't let good things, mean that they can't be better, obviously. But this ban list is fantastic, so we'll hop right into it. First up, Yugioh and Kelbeck. These are some of the most frustrating cards in Tier Limit. More than anything else, just watching them snowball and hit all their gambles is just so frustrating. The fact that it doesn't matter where they go from as long as it's deck or hand that they trigger is just such a frustrating thing, especially with the new Lightsworn cards coming out. I don't know if Lightsworn would have played these, probably, but good riddance, you will not be missed. There's nothing more frustrating than having a Garnet milled out of your deck and then you just can't play the game. Just so frustrating to play against. Mathmech Circular. This is a weird hit. I think that Mathmech was not a top deck. It certainly wasn't anywhere I had played. Just not a great card right now. But overall, just a really strong card in and of itself. I think that they wanted to, reduce the fact that every Cyrus deck that doesn't attribute lock would play Circular and a package of it because, you can resolve Circular and that basically reads win the game. Just a really strong card that I think the game is probably healthier and Cyrus as a typing is healthier without. So I'm happy to see it go, but why did we need to hit it now? It's a little bit late in its lifespan, but I'm not complaining about it. Weird hit, but good riddance. It sold 2 Tales of Noble Knights. I can't believe it took them this long to ban this card. This card has been suspect from the moment it was printed to the moment it got banned. I think it was, 3 years? This card is so stupid. Goodbye, good riddance, you will not be missed. This card, I think what's funny is that this card was not banned because of Infernoble. It was banned probably because of the Makanko Acid Golem lock. I think that's the more likely explanation, which they cannot do without this card. But I think that's probably it, because Infernoble didn't win anything, I don't believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, feel free to roast me for, missing out on misremembering recent YCSs. But I don't think that Isolde was banned as an Infernoble hit. I think it was banned as a Makanko hit, and good riddance, you all know I hate that deck. But moving on to limits, this is where things really start to get interesting. Unchanged Soul of Shavara is limited to 1. I think this is a really solid hit. It's a very searchable card in the deck. And I think it's really good that it's limited because Shavara is how Unchained likes to dodge around targeted interruption by popping their own stuff so that you can't, hit it with an imperm or something like that. And so removing its ability to consistently just hard open it without searching it with, say, a prison or taking it off of Prosp, I think really reduces all of their stuff as well as their grind game. So I'm happy to see that be limited. I think it's a good way to touch the deck without killing it. I think it's a cool, fun deck. I think that, toning it down a bit and then later bringing it back will be completely acceptable. So I'm totally fine with Shavara to 1. It lets them resolve their game plan, and if they want to, they can, go really hard in. Airlifter to 1. Again, I don't think Rescue Ace is deep enough into its lifespan that we can really say, oh, we gotta kill Rescue Ace. But again, Airlifter's a nice consistency hit. I don't really know how you touch Rescue Ace. There's not really a way to limit its ceiling. It's in that way. Because it just has so many different consistency tools to reach where it wants to go, and it's about to get even more in the upcoming set with the level 1 Snake Eyes card and Bonfire. But I think that limiting Airlifter is a good start. Obviously, I think that by the time the next core set comes out, we're going to have to start having a discussion about Rescue Ace. But I'm very happy to see Airlifter go to 1, just a nice little consistency hit. It does something at least. Makes the deck less consistent, which is one of the big weaknesses, I think, of Rescue Ace. If it doesn't see Engine, it just loses very badly. Redox Dragon Ruler of Boulders. I'm surprised we didn't get Title back as well, but seeing Redox go is, I guess, a lot safer. Earth is an attribute. Actually saying that out loud, Earth is not a worse attribute than Water. But it's very strange that we're getting the Reborn before the Foolish, but I guess there's more stuff you can do with Foolish. We have the Vernisol, so it's definitely safe to unban Redox. His card is fine. Happy to see him come back, bring back Title next. But good on Redux for getting unbanned. This is a big one up next. I'm sure everyone in the comments is very happy. Harp is finally back, and he can do just about nothing. This card's not going to do anything. It could have been unbanned a year and a half ago, probably more even. This card it's a good card, don't get me wrong, but it is not going to do anything. Orcust is not going to do anything. And then next up, Gozen, Rivalry, Tikaboo are all limited to 1. People have been asking for this for ages. I've been asking for this for ages. Get rid of dumb, stupid floodgates that are just unfun to play against. Removing these by putting them to 1 makes it so much better. Vanquish Soul just doesn't have a win con anymore. Very happy about that. Gozen Match, Rivalry, they weren't cropping up as much, but good to see them go. No complaints, I think, from literally anyone here. Good riddance, goodbye. Toodaloo, we'll see you never. Hopefully we see them again on the forbidden section because nobody wants these cards in any format. Anytime you have one flipped up, just ruins your game. I'm done ranting about how dumb these cards are. Good riddance, Rip Bozo. Sun Avalon Dryas and Sunvine Healer. These are funny hits to Plant, which I think is very funny because Plant as a deck is only really good at the tippy top levels when it's piloted by someone who knows it like the back of their hand, like Sunseed Just. I think this is a really significant hit. It kind of kills the engine to a certain extent. I don't know why they needed to limit Dryas and Healer. They're just insane hits. But yeah, I think Plant as an engine is much weaker. Your ability to trigger Jasmine is now out the window because of, you can't trigger Jasmine off of, your Healer because you can't make a second Dryas. Just kills Plant. I'm not really happy about that. I think Plant was a cool deck that required a really strong pilot to get the most out of, but it was a really strong deck when it was piloted by those people. So on one hand, like, good riddance, but on the other hand, like, those players deserve to be rewarded. And then next up we have a card that is very, very interesting. If the World Chalice Justicaire. This card is ridiculous. It's kind of like Danglong, except instead of searching a counter trap, it searches more extenders. This card is really, really good. This is probably the most suspect unhit. Buy your Gearsus and buy your Ibs. This card will see play most likely in some weird jank stuff. I don't know if it'll see play in meta-relevant stuff. It might see play in Generator just because like it can search Monstrosity, which is very funny. But I'm certain that this card will work its way into something. It's a generic 5 that searches more extenders. There's no way that this card isn't playable, is what I'm saying. This card scares me a little bit, I won't lie. But I'm happy to see it back. I'm interested to see what people can do with it. It should be interesting and fun. And if it's broken, put it back on the forbidden list. It's completely fine. Moving on to Snatch Steal. They brought back Snatch Steal, and with Isolde banned, I'm not really concerned about Snatch Steal. We've had Change of Heart legal, and Change of Heart is searchable off of Thrust. And Change of Heart has done essentially nothing. Additionally, there's a Makanko card that's coming out, I believe, in the next core set, or Maze, whichever one. I can't remember. And it can search on a generic equip spell when it's like normal or special or whatever. And if Makanko wants to search Snatch Steal, like, whatever. I'm not concerned about Snatch Steal in 2022, or 2024. This card is good, don't get me wrong. Snatch Steal, good card. But I am not losing sleep over another copy of Change of Heart. It is what it is. It could be really broken, and I could be completely wrong. Be prepared for that, because, we did this before, and people were like, oh, it'll be fine, and then it was broken. But I'm prepared to be wrong, but I'm willing to bet it does nothing. For semi-limits, Pearly Sleepy Memory, I guess it's a consistency hit to Pearly. Like, that deck is not fun to play against. Like, you don't sit across the table from Pearly and go, oh boy, I can't wait to play against Pearly. It also limits them to a draw 4, which is, I guess more reasonable. I don't think, drawing more than 2 cards is ever reasonable, but it's an improvement, I guess. It makes my friend actually a gamble, but you were always going to reveal Sleepy or Delicious because you only have one Delicious. But good to see them at least hit Pearly with consistency, because that's all you really can do, other than, I don't know, limiting my friend or like Noir or something. But not killing the deck. I guess that's good for Pearly players. Good for you guys. Dinosaur Pankratops. This is a really interesting one. I think Pank is better than Fenrir, objectively speaking. So, this is interesting to see Pank come back. It's only good going second tool. Pank's crazy. I'm very happy to see him back. Just a very, very good card. I bet you will see a lot of control decks like Labyrinth, especially Fern Lab in particular, shift to when they are going second, probably be some sort of Pankratops control. And that's, fine by me. Pank is such a good card that I'm completely fine with him being in the format, and being a little more defining in the format. If he becomes too dominant, again, we can put him back to limited. Not losing too much sleep over Pankratops. Speedroid Terratop, this is fine. All this does is, make the ability to make generic 3s a little bit better. I don't think I'm afraid of, a generic making, some generic 3. If MX Saber Invoker and Dryden were legal, I'd be a little more concerned, but ultimately I think Speedroid Terratop is completely fine. Moving on to Unlimits. Infernity Archfiend is back at 3. Lawn Chair is still at 1. Don't care about this deck, don't care about this card. It will not be good, it has never been good, and it never will be good, because, simply put, this deck cannot play hand traps, and therefore it stinks. Kashtira Unicorn at 3. Cash is dead, it has no win con. You can play Kashtira Beatdown. By all means, go ahead. I am certain you will have a not great time if you run into Lab, because Daruma is going to solo you. But, good for you, Kashtira Beatdown players. You have 3 Unicorn again, as well as, I guess, it's a good day for Speedroid players, because they play Unicorn as well. So, yeah, good day for Speedroid players, and I guess Kashtira somehow. Minecon to 3. I guess we have just decided that stealing your opponent's monster is completely fine. Honestly, I'm kind of fine with Minecon. It's fine. Like, yeah, you have copies of BrainCon, Minecon, and, Change of Heart, and now Snatch Steal. You can play a lot of copies of it. But are you really willing to commit that much of your deck to it is my question, and the answer is probably not. Like, it's whatever. But, I guess when you have Change of Heart and Snatch Steal at 1, you can definitely put Minecon to 3. And that's fine. It's whatever. Spellbook of Judgment to 3. This card's doing nothing. Has not done nothing since Spellbook format. So good riddance. You can come off the list. Stop wasting Konami's poor ink on it. Upstart Goblin to 3. I'm not a big fan of this. Like, it's fine to come to 3, but you just know there's some jank FDK that wants to play, 37 cards. Telephon, for example, definitely wants to play, 37 cards. So, seeing that go to 3 makes me a little uneasy. But, it is what it is. Like, this card is, again, wasting ink. Like, the only deck that maybe even wants to play it is Striker. So, whatever. Pot of Desires to 3. Whatever. Pot of Desires is fine. I think with Prosperity in the game, you're going to want to play Prosp unless you're exactly Sword Soul. I don't see a lot of instances where Desires is that much better. I think digging deeper is better, and getting to pick what you get is always better, with the sole exception of, Sword Soul, because they want to be able to draw off their Mogi and stuff. And Starter back to 3 is fine, because, of course, its Starter and Sprite is just not a good enough engine, in my opinion, anymore. It's not even being the thing that you pair with Runic anymore. But, nice to see Starter back. It's completely fine. I'm fine with Sprite. It is what it is. But I think it's a great overall list. It addresses a lot of issues with Floodgates, unfun cards, engines that get toned down but not necessarily killed. The unhits are really, really cool and interesting. I like them a lot. The bans remove unfun cards. Just an overall banger list. The things that I think are really missing from this, Normal Trap, Floodgates, Eradicator Epidemic Virus, Dimensional Barrier. These are things that are probably missing. Additionally, Pot of Prosperity. I think a lot of people thought this card was going to get limited, and it's kind of clear that Konami is saying, not yet. So they clearly think it's fine. I don't think Pot of Prosperity is a fine card. I think that card is very, very strong. Bannably strong. But, it's clearly, in Konami's eyes, acceptable, or at an acceptable level, but I vehemently disagree with them. But that's their business. But overall, I'm very, very pleased. I probably couldn't ask for a better list. You probably can't ask for a better list. But it's fantastic. I have zero complaints, other than just minor nitpicks. We haven't had this good of a ban list since Order got banned, and that was literally just because Order got banned. But really happy with this. If you guys enjoyed this little discussion video, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.